Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. A very sad and somber night in Eupora as hundreds of family, friends, and complete strangers came together to remember 14-month-old Major Jadon Barr. Love and support has been pouring from all over to a family who lost their pride and joy in an accident Monday afternoon. As tears were shed, people hugged each other, they sang songs of comfort, and sent beautiful blue and white balloons into the sky. Little Major was run over yesterday afternoon in an accident on Posey Street. Family and friends say that everyone is at a loss for words, but they're so grateful for every prayer.
It's a lot of love out here, and I'm glad. So what I see, that they got a strong supporting cast, and I'm glad for that. It seemed like a lot of people from the city came out to support them as well, so that's always good.
Now, plans are underway to have shirts made as a fundraiser to help out the family with arrangements and expenses. A shooting leaves one man dead and another person in custody in Itawamba County. Sheriff Chris Dickinson says they were called to this home at 247 Fidget Road around 1:50 this afternoon. Investigators say Michael George had 4 gunshot wounds to his body. Deputies are still speaking with witnesses. Right now, the suspect's name is not being released. The investigation into a fatal officer-involved shooting last night in Pontotoc County continues. Union County Sheriff Jimmy Edwards identified the suspect as Terry Payne. The sheriff says Payne led deputies on a chase down County Road 102. That chase went on into Pontotoc County, and that's where investigators say Payne got out of his car and raised his gun at officers who then fired their weapons.
No one ever wants to be placed in that situation where they're being shot at, and but certainly when they are, then it gives them the right, to protect themselves, and that's what they had to do. We had prayer with them here last night at the sheriff's office, and a counselor with them.
Edwards says Payne had a previous criminal record. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is taking over the case. A Pontotoc woman faces charges in Florida after Orange County deputies say she left 3 puppies inside a hot car, killing 2 of them. 54-year-old Penelope Stanley was staying at an Orange County, Florida hotel. Deputies say this morning they got a phone call that dogs were barking, trying to get out of the car. Tragically, once deputies got on scene, one of the dogs had died. The other 2 were in distress. Officers say the SUV was 120 degrees inside. A second dog died at the animal control office. Stanley faces animal cruelty charges. A legal fight is brewing over what meat substitute products should be called. The state of Mississippi is now being sued in federal court. Courtney Ann Jackson explains why some say the law is unconstitutional and how the state is responding.
Labels like this use terms like bacon, burgers, chorizo, but it also shows that it's 100% vegan. Makers of plant-based foods claim they will no longer be allowed to use terms like meatless meatballs or veggie burger in Mississippi.
People understand that foods labeled as meatless do not contain meat. Customers seek out these foods specifically because they are vegan. However, for sellers of vegan foods, it is extremely helpful to explain to customers the characteristics of the foods using meat product terms.
Mississippi's new law that took effect Monday seeks to crack down on the way those products are labeled, but this federal lawsuit argues that's a violation of the First Amendment rights for companies like Upton's Foods.
Our packaging is very proudly labeled as vegan, fully compliant with all of the FDA regulations. We see this law in Mississippi as a protectionist move by the meat industry to stifle competition, and we feel that that is unfair.
Agriculture Commissioner Andy Gibson.
That's hogwash. What prompted this movement is the consumers of Mississippi have been crying out, confused about what's on the shelf here. Is this meat? Is it not meat?
Here's the thing. Mississippi hasn't actually finalized any regulations connected to the new law. The proposed regulations were filed with the Secretary of State's office Monday, the same day the lawsuit was filed in federal court. Gibson notes there's a 25-day comment period for anyone who takes issues with the regulations.
Not meat. You can't call it meat. It's just that simple. They can say meatless, meat-free. That's even in our rules. But I don't know if they've taken the time to read the rules. Bless their heart.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Time now to get a first look at our forecast. We'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Hey, Scott, a great day today. If you like it warm and steamy, you can see the setting sun right there. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Tupelo building clouds there to the northwest too, and actually a little cluster of storms north of Holly Springs drifting into southwest Tennessee, not going to affect our area. Scattered high clouds, yes, the showers and storms we had down towards southwest really on the way out, so it should be a pretty quiet night, but it's warm and sticky right now. We're at around 80 degrees in many spots. Low and mid 70s tonight, scattered high clouds, the wind is light. And for our day tomorrow, a big travel day before the 4th of July holiday. 7 o'clock, 76, but by noon, showers and storms start to bubble on up, and they will become numerous during the course of the day. Highs up to around 90. We'll talk about the holiday weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. Well, a new top cop is announced in Louisville. The city swore in its newest police chief tonight.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Official right there. Sean Holdiness is a lifelong Louisville resident. The 48-year-old brings 25 years of law enforcement experience to the job. He's a recently retired Mississippi Highway Patrolman. Holdiness was selected by the Louisville Board of Aldermen in a unanimous vote tonight. He says he hopes to make the mayor and Board of Aldermen proud of their decision.
Sean Holdiness. I was extremely happy. Just that the confidence that they have in me and the decision that Mayor Will Hill made, and to start the foundation of everyone's behind me. I can't think of a better way to start. I'm about to enter.
So help you God.
Chief Holdiness replaces former Chief Ellen Claiborne, who retired last month. In Starkville tonight, city leaders there agreed to move forward with the consideration of an amended annexation plan. An original plan included the annexing the entire university estate. However, after hearing from residents who were opposed to the idea, a new map was drawn. Now the amended version only includes a few parcels of university estates. The board is expected to have another public hearing and vote on the matter during its August 6th board meeting. In Columbus, councilmen here approved getting some extra help to get rid of coyotes in the city. Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks conservation officers are going to help get rid of those coyotes. Police Chief Fred Shelton says that some folks in North Columbus have been complaining about coyotes killing some of their pets. Some councilmen say they've also heard similar reports. The police department made the request. No word on when conservation officers will start removing the coyotes from area neighborhoods. And there's another pest causing some problems, this time in Winona. Buzzards, they seem to be moving in. The birds have made temporary homes in abandoned buildings and wooded areas. Animal control officers suspect the birds are making a circuit between towns, and Winona is just a pit stop. When they stop in, they leave behind property damage and become a danger for drivers. City leaders say they're looking for ways to scare the buzzards away from Winona.
It needs to be a community effort. It can't be just my house and nobody else. It's got to be, if they come to my house, we have to harass them. You can harass them with noise, with fireworks, whatever. But once they leave there, you got to have someone at the next house to harass them. Because if you don't do that, it's not going to work. So that's why we're trying to educate the people on it.
And they're also just not pretty to look at, are they? Well, a community meeting with the city leaders will be held 4 p.m. Monday at the Powell Street Community Facility.
Not a lot of storms in our area today. We do envision more storms with lightning potential here as we get into our day Wednesday. So just be aware, lightning could be out there. If you hear thunder, go indoors. If you can hear thunder, in theory, you can be struck by lightning. But more on the upcoming holiday weekend forecast next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Pretty active today out here in the Pacific Ocean. First, let's talk about the total eclipse. Look at this little black dot right there. That was a total eclipse of the sun that occurred earlier today. And then back up there, across the eastern Pacific, a little bit closer to us here in North America, that is a very strong Hurricane Barbara, up to 155-mile-per-hour sustained wind right now, just below Category 5 strength. Just about a classic storm. Now, On a positive note, this thing is way out in the middle of nowhere, so it's not going to be affecting any land masses, and it's expected to weaken before it approaches Hawaii. This is the next 5 days here, so plenty of time to watch it and hopefully watch it fall apart. Over here in the Atlantic, all quiet, no active tropical weather right now. There's some wind shear, there's some Saharan dust, really limiting development in the tropics, and that's always a good thing around our neck of the woods. Here's our Alpha Insurance camera network in Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, and in Louisville, Mississippi. Great sunsets across our region again today with the higher clouds streaming on in. No rain across our region right now, but there's this little cluster of showers and dying thunder showers moving east of Memphis. That, though, is moving to the northeast, will not have a bearing on our weather for tonight. Scattered clouds, yes, of the higher variety. Now, tomorrow morning, we'll probably see those clouds, and as long as they're out there, we'll have a pretty decent sunrise, much like our sunset. By late morning into the noon hour, we do expect to see showers and storms start to bubble on up. That will carry over into the afternoon and evening. Some of that will have some lightning potential, heavy downpours, gusty breezes, and then that goes away as we get into tomorrow evening once we stabilize the atmosphere. And as we get into your Thursday morning, some scattered clouds, but no active weather. But by the afternoon, we're warm, we're humid. Low 90s and a chance for some scattered showers and storms. Probably not as many Thursday, which is good news for the 4th of July. If you do have any outdoor plans, and whatever does pop up should go away by mid-evening. So speaking of the 4th of July on Thursday, 82 at 9 in the morning, 92 in the afternoon, feeling like 100 degrees, and a rain potential goes down as we get into the evening. Here's our city-by-city planner for tomorrow, 92 or so in Tupelo. Some of you may fall short of 92, maybe struggling to 90, depending on the cloud cover and how it develops during the course of the morning hours. So do plan on some storms around here across the entire southeast, some pop-up showers and storms. Just be advised, if you do have any travel plans, you may run into one of those gusty storms. 92 Thursday, 94 Friday and Saturday. The heat index well into the low 100s, and a few more storms possible into next week. More at the show after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. The CDC is warning swimmers about a parasite that could be in the same water that you're trying to cool off in on a hot summer day. Our Stephanie Poole, she visited one local hot spot where employees say they make sure the water is monitored around the clock to keep everyone healthy.
For many local families, swimming is just a part of summer. But before diving in, be aware of one swimmer that could already be hiding in the water. Cryptosporidium is a fecal parasite, and the Centers for Disease Control says it can last in the water for days. At Starkville's large public pool, Executive Director of Parks and Recreation Gary Logan and his staff constantly regulate the water quality.
We monitor the water pH and water stability basically every day, and adjust as needed. So we have a couple of different measures in place. So like I said, basically just checking pH every day, chlorine levels.
On warmer days, the levels go up even more.
For example, the sun above us can affect the water quality and pH level and chlorine level. So on sunnier days, we tend to have to, we use more because it dilutes over time.
Logan says these methods should help keep the pool sanitized and regulated from any breakout of this and other diseases. But it takes more than just chlorine. Logan urges swimmers to practice good hygiene before hopping in.
Things like showering before and after you enter any type of, especially if you enter a pool.
He also suggests that toddlers wear swim diapers and avoid swimming if you're injured.
They've got a cut, even if it's a minor cut, if it's an open wound on their skin, they really don't need to go to any type of public pool because, they get in the water. You may even have a Band-Aid on there, but that doesn't matter. The water's going to get in there. So if they've got an open cut, they're now transferring that into basically the open water. And it's really just testing that water frequently and adjusting as necessary.
Okolona is up next on the high school football tour. New faces will lead the Chieftains, but the goals, they're staying the same. See the preview next in sports.
We have reloaded this roster and are eager to showcase some of the new faces.
You don't win football games in August and September. You win football games right now, guys. That's why we do this every day.
Okollona's hard work and daily grind will be put to the test this season. Head coach Lamar Harvey faces his toughest challenge yet, as the Chieftains have experienced plenty of turnover the last 2 seasons.
We lost 25 seasons the last 2 years, so this year's going to be a rebuilding. Hope people can be a little patient with it, because we got some young guys and some young, in positions that's going to have to make some plays.
I don't talk a lot, like on the field. I don't try to force nobody to do nothing. I just try to lead by example, and hopefully the underclassmen try to follow under what I do.
The biggest hole to fill for Okolona is left by star running back Jacorius Sanfield.
I don't know if we can feel him. I mean, we got some guys capable of doing some of the things he did, but Stanfield's one of those once in a lifetime generation type of player, whatever, with his size and speed and everything. But we got some guys that's going to try to fill his shoes, but he was a small guy, but the shoes are mighty big to fill.
It's not going to take one person. It's going to take a lot, because Coach Tiller not a lot of players coming like that. He a dime a dozen, so it's going to take a lot of us to do just what he did.
It's hard to replace it, but I know it's a few guys can do what he do. Not everybody can do it, but put a few guys there to do what he got to do. But the whole team got to step up, not just one man.
All-around team effort will be key, as Okolona will battle it out in what is easily the toughest region in 1A.
Knox Payne, Nana Wild, TCPS, Smithfield, man, ourselves, and I think French Camp, we were all playoff teams last year. So this year, two clubs will be missing out, and we're just trying to strive. We want to get into playoffs. We want to get into dance, but it's going to be difficult. I'll be honest, it's going to be a challenge with these young guys, but we're up for the challenge. We're up for the challenge.
We just got to give more effort than they do, and to keep competing, no matter how tough the game get.
They just another team. We just got to compete. I know, Nana White, Nana Warrior, they won state championship, but, they don't scare us, because, we've been playing against tougher teams and stuff, so we just got to compete.
Reporting in Okolona, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Okolona High School is brought to you by Bank of Okolona and Okolona Pharmacy.
For those looking to keep track of the entire 1660 high school football tour schedule, go over to our Twitter and Facebook accounts at WCBI Endzone to catch the schedule. But here are some of the upcoming stops this week. Tomorrow, the French Camp Panthers are in the limelight. Baldwin on Thursday, East Union coming up on Friday, until we kick off the weekend with Manatee. If you've missed any of the stops along the way to this point, go over to our website, WCBI.com, to catch the prior 8, as we're 9 stops in. Transitioning to baseball, some of the best from the college baseball diamond here in Mississippi, given the chance to represent their country in the game they love. Notable names on international rosters: Mississippi State's Justin Foscue and Tanner Allen make the cut for Team USA. They'll be joined by Ole Miss pitcher Doug Nikhazy on the USA team. The Bulldogs' rising sophomore pitcher Eric Sarantola chosen to represent his native country, Canada, in the international games. Team USA will host a 5-game friendly with Cuba before traveling to Taiwan and Japan. That's it for sports. We'll have last your forecast coming up after the break.
All right, here's our 7-day forecast. Scattered storms tomorrow. Not everyone will see those storms over the next few days, but if you get underneath one, some lightning, some gusty breezes, some heavy downpours. But don't cancel your 4th of July holiday plans. It looks like we'll be able to get those fireworks displays into Thursday evening.
Just be prepared. Have a raincoat with you. You never know.
Always a wise decision.
Oh, for sure. All right, thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place.